Hello.
Hello.
Yay.
Alright.
don't
Okay,
eat
so
don't
this
eat the globe.
topic is feeling alone. Holidays coming up. Um, it's a thing for a lot of people.
Mhm.
So we figured we'd discuss it.
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes you can be with a bunch of people and still feel alone, or in my case, just feel weird.
Yeah. That's
That
what we
too.
were talking about beforehand, is that
Yeah,
we're all in like I feel the funk. It's like a
yeah.
funk.
I can't even say it's a funk. I mean, my life is pretty good. Everything's rolling right along. I got good things coming up in the future. I'm working on some really great projects, um, but it's kind of like the other shoe hasn't dropped. Like there's something. It's right there, but you can't define it. It's just kind of a weird no man's land.
Okay.
I always notice it around the holidays too.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
The energy of the
Mhm.
crowds and the energy of the people. I
Mhm.
stopped celebrating these holidays, especially Christmas, because it was so commercialized, and I realized that since it's the holiday with the largest amount of suicides, for heaven's sake, because people have all these high expectations of what Christmas is supposed to be, and they can't get presents or they don't have anybody, and it just amplifies. And a lot of people give up at this time of year, and I didn't want to really participate in that. And I feel so much better now that I don't have a Christmas decoration. I don't have any wrapping paper. We don't give gifts to each other. Christmas is another day to us that we live in the blessing of our relationship, and everything is great. But I realize that's just me. But I know that that did alleviate a lot of stress in my life, and we haven't celebrated for over a decade. Like it's been really nice. I know that's not for everybody. Some people enjoy Christmas and putting up decorations and such, but that's just something I had to do. I had to pull away so I didn't lose myself.
We do. I try to get the girls to understand. Like, I try to be consistent at the holidays. I
Mhm,
don't do the hustle. I don't do adding in extra dogs. I don't. What our schedule is, our schedule is.
mhm.
Try to keep that even keel, because the energy that the clients and the dogs bring in are already
They're
hard enough.
already
Oh,
woo.
it is, no matter what. I always forget about it until it hits this time of year, and I think like I have it grounded, and then they prove to me I'm not grounded. Like, it's just that energy comes in. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. So yeah,
How about you,
Yeah.
Ange? What's up?
Um, all right. So I haven't celebrated Christmas since my dad was killed. Um, it just Christmas was our favorite holiday, always. I mean, my bathroom was decorated for Christmas.
Mhm,
It made me so happy. And when he was killed right before Christmas,
mhm. How long ago was that for you, Ange?
15 years this year,
15? Yeah.
and it just kind of, he wasn't there anymore to celebrate Christmas. And um, so I didn't, I was the only one in the house that I was in,
Mhm,
did uh, that made Christmas, I guess would
mhm,
be the best way to put it.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I do have holidays like that that remind me of people that are gone that were very, very close to me, and I kinda treat those as, like the Highlander, "Light the candle on me birthday." You know, I put something special where it's near and dear to me to remember them in my own way. It's not a loud thing, nobody really knows about it because it's for me and it's between us,
mhm,
and sometimes I think that helps, but
yeah,
we all react to these things in our different ways, I think.
hmm
yeah. I mean, Christmas for me, for me and my dad, we always shared a. It was like over the top with Christmas,
Mhm.
just with the cooking and the parties and
The
the
whole thing, yeah.
family and the eating and the decorating, and it was just magical.
Wow, that's nice.
And I mean, I'd call him up and I'd be like, oh, I got this thing and I'm so excited. And he's like, oh, where'd you get that? Oh, I want one too. And then he got
Aw.
and so yeah, Christmas was like a huge thing for us. And
Yeah.
I just when he was the only one that had that passion for it that I had.
Yeah.
And when he was gone, it was gone. So
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't I
Mm-hmm.
don't know this year. Um, my very dear friend Amy
Mhm.
uh, is telling me that there will be no. You are going to find
There will
your
be sleigh bells.
yeah,
There will be sleigh
find your
bells.
love. You will find your passion. You will find your happy Christmas again. We're doing this,
Yeah.
and
I'll be one moment. Okay. I'll be right back.
okay. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Um, I don't know, but I have a feeling that she's going to drag me there kicking and screaming, and um, and I'm just gonna have to, because that's what best friends do.
Uh-huh.
Is they're
Yeah.
just like, this is good for you. You need this, and we're doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
you
And
know,
and you already have some handmade Christmas ornaments that Cricket sent you.
I have so many. Those are the only Christmas ornaments I have. That's it. That I had. So when I was getting divorced, I threw away all of my holiday things because I didn't want the memories. I didn't want any of it. The only thing I kept was the ornaments that you guys made for me and sent me. Those are the only ornaments I own. I do not own a Christmas tree. I don't even own a Christmas tree stand. Um, but I have those ornaments because those were memories I wanted to take with me. So I have those. And they have their very own box. And it's the only one in my house right now of 4 million boxes. I mean, literally, like, I cannot get my TV is in the spare room. I will have to either fly or float there in order to get it out because it's at the back corner. The boxes are like above my head, and I have been unpacking like a mad woman. That is the only box in this entire house that says Christmas on it. Just that one.
Well, and I
So
think that's the thing. Holidays can be, you know, we taught the kids that it's not as commercialized, right? It's not as big of a deal. And we would do experiences over stuff because they don't need anything and
right.
it's silly. Um, but this time of year is always so hit or miss. You have some
Yeah,
people who are so excited and then like I love festivities and I love hanging out with my friends and I love all those things. But when it comes to, like families, like into your story and stuff, like I think there's so much conflict around the holidays and if you're not happy go lucky and you're not doing these things, then all of a sudden, you can feel so lonely amongst all of it.
Mhm.
I've actually started to call. I still am able to have some enjoyment, but I've started to call the holidays like uh generational trauma
Hmm?
time, like let's working through our generational trauma time, because it seems that around the holidays things kick up, and I'm just within the past like year and a half, or since last holiday season, I've been able to kind of recognize, like, this is where this comes from. Oh, this is where this comes from my mother, who then passed it to me.
Mhm.
Who, what are you hitting buttons on the computer? Great. Um, And I'm like, and then I'm talking to my cousin. And I'm like, hey, does your mom do this? She's like, yeah. And for those of you who have families with issues, I'm going to share a fun fact in case you didn't know. It is impossible to cry without a runny nose. It is impossible to shed actual tears without your nose running. Like it's biologically,
Well, they're kind of made
physiologically,
out of the same substance.
they're made of the same substance. So when your nose is like a faucet, when you start crying, it's literally you're crying out your nose too. It's like flying out. So, and that's an important fact to know. It seems like stupid random trivia. That's an important fact to know because when somebody is really? This is what he's trying to get to, this poor mangled toy that I don't want him to eat the rest of the stuffing out of. But so, all right. So when somebody is doing this and they really look like they're sobbing and it's really intense and they have all the things.
Y'all have seen it.
And it's just, and it looks real good. Like they look fucked up. Fine, eat the stuffing. Just damn.
Nice.
So when they're doing all of that, if no tissues, if there's a lot of this,
They don't look like a hot mess.
but
They don't
none
look
of
like some kind of a
this,
typhoon out of your face.
yes, but none of this. Like if there is no snot, if there's no nose blowing, oh, why see, it looks real.
Uh-huh.
It looks real.
Mhm.
That was complete crocodile tears.
Mhm.
And the problem is when it's a learned stress response, I've seen it before. I've seen it a lot. When it's a learned stress response, you may actually think that you're crying.
Mhm.
You're not crying.
Well, there's a level beyond that where it gets really dark and the humor is really, really dark. That's a level beyond crying.
But that's still real. That's still real emotion.
Mhm.
That's still real emotion. What I'm talking about is the manipulation.
Yeah, sociopathic or psychopathic acting.
Manipulation, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
When
And I'm like,
cry, my ears pop
no,
yeah.
and bring the box.
yeah.
Mhm.
Don't offer me one. Bring the box because I'm a happy crier. And I was talking about it earlier today with a friend. And we were talking about the movie Babe.
I love that movie.
Gets me every time.
Mhm.
Just give me the box because there's going to be it's all the things, all
Mhm.
all the just the whole all the Kleenex, please. I'll share, but there's not getting many.
Won't be any to share, but
You get like a couple
Yeah.
tops.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am a happy
Mhm.
crier, and customers would bring in gifts at Christmas time. Oh,
I
Mhm.
I
and
like to
I
say
start
yes.
crying. They
Yes.
start crying.
Yep.
There was
Yep. Yep. I
oh,
like to say all my emotions sometimes shoot out my eyes. They get too strong, they just shoot out. Oh, Saturday. Oh, Saturday when I held new baby boy
Mhm.
out of nowhere. I'm just because I had a cold when his sister was born, so I couldn't hold her. I got to see her and I may have tear. I didn't get to hold less than 24 hours old human.
yep.
Oh my God. I didn't know what the hell started. I'm
It's a
tearing up
promise to
now.
the future. You see you're
Yeah.
holding the future in your hands. That's
No.
very profound. I
Yeah.
cry. I
Now I am
sob,
crying,
racking
Kayla.
sobs when I watch creative grooming.
Okay.
And anyone who stood next to me knows that it's not even fake. Not because I don't just see, oh, look at that beautiful dog they just did, or it's so wacky or whatever. They stand up there and put their heart on the line and all their hard work. And I see the entire journey from when they first picked up their scissor to now, to this moment when they're singing off key or wearing their costume and they're presenting their dog. I lose my mind. I love them so much.
Okay, I get the same thing when I'm watching the regular competitions. Um, like I'll see Amy when she's doing the wires, or I'll watch Kayla when she's doing the poodles.
Mhm.
I'm standing there like a fool taking pictures of Kayla, and I'm just trying like an idiot. Um, so yeah, and then I send her pictures later, and she's like, "I didn't even see you." I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm watching you, and I'm crying, and I look like an idiot, so I'm trying not to let anybody know I'm there because it's so beautiful."
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I mean, Gavin just takes my breath away as it is. That dog is gorgeous, and I love him, and I call him Mr. Perfect because he is. And it just, huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine mine is like seeing everyone's pride. Like just knowing like that prideful moment. Like I'm proud for them and like
Mhm.
that's I
Mhm.
get like that with my kids and stuff too. Like I'll go to the scout things and when Dylan's up on like just the hard work that's put into it and just all of that
Mhm.
emotion and energy behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm like sitting there and I'm like, you know, dabbing at these places. I'm like, it's the pride. Just yeah, it's putting all
You see their
everything out.
journey. You know what it takes
Yeah.
to get where they are. So it has more to do
Yeah.
with just your heart bursting with pride for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting to watch somebody do good, and get there, achieve their dream, and better themselves every year. You see them just get better and better and better. And you know where they came from and you know a little bit about their story, especially the ones you know personally.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
like, I've approached people in tears that have no clue who I am. I'm like, God, it's so beautiful. I
Oh.
can't believe it. You know what I mean? And they're like, okay, whatever. Ooh, they're like, so weird.
Yeah. And I will send, so I send pictures to everyone I know that competes because there's that moment.
Mhm.
And like I can see it when they connect with the dog and it just, it,
Mhm.
it just hits.
Mhm.
And so I'm taking pictures, I'm taking video, and I'm like, okay, so Kayla, when you get on Wi Fi, don't try to do it because it will use all your data for the month. So don't open my message on Messenger until you're Wi Fi. There's like 130 pictures and some
Mhm.
videos. And she's like, where were you?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
how did you get this many pictures? And I didn't even know you were there.
She's not supposed to. She's supposed to be looking at the dog. She's got
Right?
sharp instruments in her
Yeah.
hand.
And I'm just like, but I want them to have those moments because they can't take the picture.
Mhm.
So the only way they're going to get it is if someone else captures it for them.
Mhm.
And when I see that look on their face where they're like, oh, this is good. This is so
Mhm.
good.
Well, sometimes you can get that candid moment, and they look at it and be like, "I know exactly what I was thinking
Mhm.
about right as you snap that picture. This was going
Yeah.
on in my brain, and I thought I wasn't going to get the leg done, and blah 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 blah." And it brings that moment back, and it's crispy like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. I'm always working. I never am there at the end of those. to see who gets the win or whatever. So it's always
Oh,
been
yeah.
the creative to me. I'm sure that I'll bawl over regular poodles and everything else too, but I'm never there.
Right.
I always miss the judging
Yeah.
because I have to be at a booth or a thing
Right.
or a
Right.
class or in teaching
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I miss that.
Mhm.
But it's the doing that I get the pictures of.
Mhm.
And like, so we were at Groom Expo and I was going into class and, so I was taking pictures and I walked into my class and I'm like all in a Kleenex. And
Mhm.
one of the students, so sweet, came over and like, "Are you okay? Do you need someone to talk to?" And I'm just like, "Oh my God." It, okay, so I was like happy crying, and then this made it worse happy crying
Mhm.
because it was like the sweetest thing. And I'm just like, "Oh my God." And they're like, "Do you need a hug?" And I'm like, "Yes, actually,
I'll take one, thank you.
I do."
Just like that meme. I always think of the little meme where the mom is crying and bawling her eyes out, and her little son, her little boy walks in and says, "Mommy, why are you crying? Is it because of your hair?" And she was like, "What?"
Well, it is now.
He's like, "But I'll hug you. Your hair's fine." Hey, Tommy.
So yeah, it's those moments. They just
Mhm.
I get leaky.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well, and you're proving that they're not alone either, right?
Mhm.
In the competition ring, you're so fixated, and I mean, I haven't done much competition, but I've done like rescue and stuff, and you get
Mhm.
so hyper fixated, and you don't
Mhm.
realize what's going on. So it is always nice to have people like that, Angie. Like you're
Mhm.
knowing that they were seen, which is wonderful, and
Mhm.
that you
and
notice.
proving Chris's theory that you
Um,
can't actually cry without having to blow your nose. So thanks for that.
right.
Chris. Yeah, that was great. Yeah,
Clinical observation.
yeah. Fact proven. Yes. So yeah, the holidays are tough.
Mhm.
People do feel alone, but just that simple act, like I was saying, when I walked in that class, I didn't know that student before then.
Mhm.
I had seen them in my classes, but I didn't know who they were. Um, but now, every time I see that name pop up in my Facebook feed,
It's a
it
shared experience. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
connection.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
it makes my heart like turn to goo, and I'm just like, oh, I love them so much. They're so sweet. And it's
Yeah.
a simple act like that that can really touch someone. And I
Mhm.
will never forget that moment.
Mhm.
Like,
That was your snapshot.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
yeah. And
Mhm.
I mean, just a simple kindness that I was happy crying. But I mean, most people aren't weirdos like me and don't like roll their eyes out when they see a beautiful poodle and go, "Oh my God, it's so perfect." Oh.
Yeah, there's plenty of us out here.
There is.
You're fine. You're fine. That's not weird at all, Angie. It's not because of your hair.
I learned to live with my hair about when I was in my 20s because I was like, you know what, this
Girl.
is what it does. So whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Your
But
hair's fine.
Right.
That's so funny.
it is what it is. And
It is. Absolutely.
you know, you
How are you
roll with
going to hate yourself for something that grows naturally out of your head?
it.
How?
Yeah. It just this is what it does. So
Mhm.
okay. Meh.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But
I'm fortunate that I am very introverted. I know the majority of people that see me don't realize how very much introverted I am. I could all those memes that go across Facebook. Could you would you do it for $100,000? Stay in this cabinet with no phone and internet? I'm like, Easily. Easily. Are you kidding me? Would you slap your mother for $1 million? She'd have fat cheeks. Well, are you kidding? Sorry, Mom. Put your face in this.
Honestly, if my mom
Angie.
heard the whole "Would you
Oh,
slap your mom
God.
for $1 million?" her only statement would be, "Please just don't knock me down." But you
That's
better
fair.
slap me.
Mom's fragile. Mom is
Mom,
fragile.
just don't break anything or knock me down. But you better be right. You twice.
Right.
Just be safe. Hit me a
Too
couple
funny.
times. My mom would be.
Can I
all
be alone? And you're paying me? Absolutely.
Sign me up.
Now, I am an extreme extrovert,
Mhm,
but I love my alone time.
mhm.
Like, I treasure it. And now I live alone. Well, I mean, present fuzzy company excluded, you guys, you know. But 2 dogs and a cat and me, and I am having the best time. I'm running around in my PJs and I'm painting, and oh my God, I love it. I love every second of it.
Mhm.
But when I'm at a trade show, I love the people and the music and like all the things. I drown in it and
Mm.
just
It rubs the lotion on its skin.
yeah, yes. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
I love talking to the students. I love coaching people. I love the madness of trade show. I
Mhm.
love all of it.
I
And
do love it. It just takes me an unusual amount of recovery time when I get home. I have to de-stress, de-hiss, because it's like a overload. I love it, but sometimes people have found me and I'm just sitting in a corner in a chair, just being by myself, like, what are you doing back here? And I'm like, oh,
And as
nothing.
extroverted as I am at the shows, it does. It takes recovery time because, like, Mindy and I will get back to the room, and we just will not talk for like a half an hour at like
We've
no
talked all day.
we talk, maybe it'll be like, do you need to use the bathroom? Like half hour, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever. We've changed. We're in bed. Like doing the doom scroll, about to fall asleep. And then all of a sudden, we'll start talking about the day because there are things we had to talk about. But we had to like shut down. And I'll go through the weekend and go, oh, I got to tell Cam this. I got to make notes of all the things I want to tell him. And then when I get home, I'm like, I still kind of want to tell him that, but I also just want to like sit there on my sofa with my feet up and cuddle my cats.
I call it the trade show crash.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
because you really are exchanging energy.
Mhm.
That's why when you go to a concert and it's a really good concert, you're literally sharing energy with every single person there. It's all concentrated. And then when you go home, you're like, whoa, you're whooped because that, you're using up your emotional and physical energy. Your energy field has been tampered with. So yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
Mhm.
so I'm the complete and total polar opposite. I come out of a trade show like it's a high.
Mm-hmm.
I am wired, like
Mhm.
wired for sound. And the day I get back from a trade show, so like, aside from running like a crazy maniac through the airport with the luggage, which, not so great about that. But aside from that, like I will get home and I'm like, ooh, I want to do all the things. And I like run outside and I'm in my garden and I'm, weeding and mulching and because I'm literally wired. Like I want to
Your
do
fear
all
cup is full.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And
Angie, I'll have you know that the last class I taught, the last all-day class I taught, we were talking about sanitation, and I literally said these words out of my mouth to my however many students that was full. I said, if you want to know, because I just gloss over sanitation. I'm like, you need to take a course. We can't do that here. We don't have enough time. I said, take Angie's course. And then I tell them with my mouth, I would eat off of your floor. I'd eat food directly off of your grooming floor. I would be fine with it. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, no, you don't know what I know. I said, take her course. If you need to know about sanitation, you need to take her course.
Well, all right. So I grew up. My daddy was Army, and when I was teeny tiny, you teach the kids the engine course. I'd wash the dishes, and I was terrified of dysentery. Had no idea what it was.
It sounds bad.
We're all gonna die from dysentery unless you wash those dishes well in hot water.
Oh, that was the problem on the Oregon Trail. That's why we all died of dysentery.
Yeah, parasites in the water and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That is hilarious, Angie. What a thing to carry through such a small child.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't know what it was, but I was pretty sure everybody was going to die, and
And it was because of you. Poor
And that's where
thing.
it all started.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
my dad.
Yeah. That's so sweet. Do we have a freaky animal fact?
It's
Say again?
not it. Not it.
You are not it, ma'am.
Not it.
You have been excused for this session.
So, yeah, I've tortured Chris with the sanitation as well.
I bought a
I feel
steam
enlightened. You
cleaner.
improved me so much. Like, I'm pretty clean. Worked in a hospital, pretty clean.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, I'm not clean like Angie. I'm not. I can't. I don't know that I can be.
I don't know that
I can't live like that.
Yeah, Amy and I have discussed, do we want Angie to come and clean our salon?
Yes, you
All right.
do. Yes, if she offers, are you kidding me? Do not ever
Yeah.
refuse that.
That means she would see our salon.
I don't think she'd say that's wonderful. See, I'm talking for her, and she says it's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
That's inside of her, and it needs to come out.
So, all right. So Amy was so kind. She let me stay in her camper for like, like 10 days when I moved to Florida. And so my guys came weekly. So she let me groom the pups. So, you're so kind to let me stay here and let me groom my dogs in your salon. And I will clean your salon for you. And at first she was like, oh my God. And then she was like, ooh, this is nice.
Let her show you how it's done.
And she's like, wow, it looks really good. So yes, I clean her salon. And no judgment. It's just, I wanted to help her out because she helped me so much. And, but yeah, so I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was talking to a friend of hers, and she said, so are you clean or are you Angie clean? She's like, oh no, I'm not Angie. I'm
There's a
clean.
distinction. Absolutely. Clean is good. Angie clean, that's beyond the pale. That's a lot. Yeah. She would wait until I was done and would go in like an elf. Did you leave her cookies? That's all I need to know.
If I could have, I would have. She would groom the dog, and then she went back in the house to go get another dog. And I was outside with my dogs, and I was like, she's done. And then I'd sneak in and, and then I'd run outside like she wouldn't notice. Um, like, you know, of course she's gonna notice. She just left, and then she'd just stick her head out the door like, and I was just like, I don't know.
Everything's lined up. The penguin's facing due south. Like, yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, too funny.
I washed shampoo bottles and like all the things, and yeah, but I mean, you know, how do you? There's no thank you. That's enough. So I wanted to do something that would be meaningful and helpful. So,
That's why we believe that you are so precious. You're precious to us.
well, I mean, you treat the people that care about you well because they care about you. So it's got to be reciprocated, or you know.
Agreed.
So tonight's weird fact. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
I got a tip from a friend. I said raccoons, and I was like, oh, I got this covered. All right, here we go.
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
All right, so raccoons have the same dexterity in their little hands that humans do. And so the whole reason they wash their food is because it helps them identify what they're actually holding, not because they're cleaning the food or their hands. Their back feet rotate 180 degrees so that they can climb down a tree while facing forward. And they're actually related to bears.
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
So they're not on the same branch of the tree as bears. So there's like the main tree, right? And Ursa is bears. So these guys are actually, I wrote it down so I didn't forget, the Procyon. And their Latin name is Procyon lotor, which means washerman. Is that not the cutest thing?
Washerman?
Washerman. I love that so much. Well, I took 4 years of Latin, so I mean, I love that for many reasons, but that is what their scientific name actually means, is washerman.
That is so cute.
I love it.
Now, the cruelest meme I've ever seen, well, one of them, I've seen some stuff, was somebody gave a raccoon cotton candy and then he went and washed it and it disappeared. That was so mean. That was so mean.
So yeah, Chelsea just popped on, so yeah, so washerman. I just thought that was the cutest thing in the whole wide world, and I love raccoons. They are little trash pandas, but the reason they have the exact same digital dexterity that we do, and that's why they can open.
Yeah, that's all fine and good, but why do they, when they reach in the cat dish, they go like this?
Simply because it's I mean, they don't have the reasoning. So much like their intelligence level is around 4-year-old child. So a 4-year-old child isn't necessarily going to grasp or grab for something like you would.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't even look at the food. They'll just grab it.
I miss you too,
cotton candy.
So yeah, so when they wash the food and they rub it, they're actually rubbing it between their hands, almost like to feel the imprint of whatever it is, because of the digital pads on their hands.
They're feeling it.
So next time you see a raccoon, just remember they're little washermen. Oh my God, I love that.
That's adorable.
So, all right, we are at 8:41, so we should probably call it a night. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you did.
And don't feel alone. And if you do,
No.
send us a message.
Yeah.
reach out.
Absolutely.
Reach out to any of us.
Absolutely.
We're here.
Hmm.
Yeah. Send us a message. We'll talk. We'll give you some work, some
Yeah.
homework to do
Yeah.
so that you
Those
will not
that
feel
call
alone.
me know that if you call me, we'll be on the phone for the next 6 hours. It's a
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
confirm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. Every single one here I have had like a 12 hours.
And you think you're saying the last thing, and she goes, "Oh,
No.
and."
And then you hold that, but then you get engaged.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
No,
Not
reach
one
out to
sided.
anybody. You're not alone.
All right, love
And
you guys. Good
don't let
night.
anybody manipulate and gaslight you. Crocodiles. Don't
Yes.
stop.